All right, so just to give you kind of a look at this space, this will be our main pharmacy, I guess you'd call it, like I keep saying. You can see we've put some rocks there. We have tons of rocks. We need to kind of complete that down there just to kind of help everything stay put, but it's not going anywhere anyway. It just looks cool, and we need to do something with the rocks. This whole area will have different medicinal herbs going into, and we've just started to plug them in. You can see the grass there. That grass doesn't bother me one bit. I'll cut that grass, keep throwing down more wood chips, and eventually I'll shade the grass out. And even if I don't, I'll have stuff growing amid grass. It's not the problem some people think. Right there, I've got some echinacea coming up, and I've got tons of echinacea started that'll come in here. So there'll be a big echinacea clump right here, which is a great medicinal herb. We come through here, hard to see, but there's some yarrow just starting to come up down there. Let me get this into a different mode here. Right there, lemon balm. So we'll have a lemon balm patch that we'll have to keep under control. It'll spread out through here. That's true valerian. It's establishing itself in these two spots. Valerian is known as herbal value, very high value medicinal. This right here is purple bee balm, which is a great thing for making tea, and it's good for my bees. Marshmallow, here and here. This is black cohosh, and it's see that light green color to it? It's having a problem finding nitrogen, so I'm gonna start putting it on therapy. And for nitrogen therapy, I use Miracle-Gro organic liquid fertilizer if I know it's a nitrogen deficiency. And when I see that light green like that, I know that's the main thing it's missing. And all it needs to do is get heavily bioactive down in that soil. There's plenty of stuff there for it. It just needs kind of a booster shot, so that's what it's going to get. Back here, I've got get out of the light. I got a female kiwi, and she does need a cross-pollinator. It's not a self-fertile one. She's going to go up this tree right here. I've got to take that limb off. It's a little bit hairy, a couple of those dead pieces sticking out there. But she'll be able to climb up and over into this second side of the oak. So what do you think's going up on his side? Well, he's getting himself a guy friend, right? He's getting a male kiwi. So we've got a male kiwi there. So the pollinator and its mate be growing there. I'll come down here. There's some more squash. Like I said, that's what we're doing for annuals this year. I'll come across my swell here and past Mr. Autumn Olive into my other mulched area. And you can see the areas that we did the sheet mulching in. The plants are healthier than the ones in the swale berms because they got a big old shot of compost. That's why. There's an autumn olive right there. Right here's a gooseberry. Now it's not happy. It's out exposed. We need to give gooseberries protection around here, and we're just seeing if they can handle it. This right here, you see it's coming all the way up here. Keeps going. These little leaves that kind of sort of remind you of Mary Jane, but they don't. Right? That's a blue hardy passion flower that's well hardy beyond my zone, and so that's going to be a passion fruit tree. We'll get the front done before we go back there. Peppermint right in the middle. People say, well, it'll cover everything up. Well, yeah, that's how I want to deal with this grass. Comfrey. That's Balking 14 comfrey. There's Balking 4. I can tell just by the shape of the leaves the difference between two. Right there, that's 2 Adams elderberries. And they're not sick or anything. They were just put in, and I think they're hardy enough they'll be fine. And they were so big, the root systems on those came from Stark Brothers. And they had root systems. I would have had to buy pots. The pots my trees came in, those root systems was not fit in. So I figured with healthy roots like that, we just plunk them in the ground. This is what kind of plum is this? This is a Bruce plum. This is one of the this and methany. If you want trees that you know will grow and you know will produce fast, Bruce plum and methany plum, especially in the South, especially in Texas where they were developed. This is a fruiting rose. It was just planted. I figured it was hardy enough it could handle even being established in the summer. It's a little unhappy with me for planting it, but it's doing quite well. This we just figured out what it is. This is an apricot tree. It was here when we got here. It looked like it was going to die. And Weren't sure what it was. It didn't seem like it flowered this year. And I thought it might be an apricot, but I never saw any blossoms on it. And then we were out here walking a couple days ago, and Dorothy found one tiny apricot laying down underneath there, and that's shored up my suspicions. And this thing should just be awful covered in them next year. I think the reason it didn't look like it flowered, it probably did, and that frost just knocked the blossoms off. Here we have 2 Hanson's bush cherries. These were trees that I thought might not do okay here, and man, they actually are doing better than quite a few of the other things, and as long as they'll fruit, I hope we get enough chilling hours for them. But I actually think we will. For cherries, I'm going to put in some Lapin's cherries. It's another low chill cherry. More comfrey, more comfrey, more comfrey. I think you get the point. Comfrey everywhere. Another one of those Erm Shimmer apples, and it's looking really good compared to most of the trees in the berm. It's a little sparse in the middle, but that's not because it's sick. It just didn't bud out there. This is another tree that we will prune this aggressively next year. It was already budding out when we planted it, so we didn't want to prune this stuff off because it had already decided it needed that. This little clump of bush here, this is not me being lazy. That provides shade because that is all inoculated with King Strophoria mushroom. So you got the natural shade of the trees and that giving some extra kicker shade. More comfrey. Female kiwi. Male kiwi over there, 2 trees. See how they are, they grow together again. So we got our male and our female pollinator kiwis, hardy kiwis. Another invasive autumn olive. Invasive cam, right? Okay, yeah. I get bored with that. And we have 2 rows of ragusas. This is another fruiting type of rose, old school roses. A little bit unhappy. And what I'm doing, just to give this guy who needs a little extra help, I come out in the morning, I give him shade on the morning side, and I give him shade on the evening side until we get past this adaptation period. This guy here, I've got a bucket on the back side for him. He doesn't get much morning shade, so I'll just leave that bucket there today so they get adapted. And then back here, we've got a Methody plum. That's the other type of plum I was talking about. You want plums, it'll produce plums. These are a North American plum hybrid with a Japanese plum. And they're self-fertile, and they are just the bomb as far as being good to eat and being productive. So we've got one on each end flanking this. And then out here where it gets pretty harsh in the sun, rosemary. So that's that patch there, and there's still room for a lot more to go in there. Now what I was talking about in the area where these 2 swells would go ahead and meet is probably from about right there. And that's right over there where that big old muscadine was I showed you. Probably come right to there. That'll all be sheet mulch, and then we'll have a backside swell sheet mulching here. That'll front side all the way down there. And this will probably meet almost to the dadgone end because there's not much space left in here. Certainly down to where that apricot is back to that swell. And this will all get designed into a major forest clump. And so there you go. There's our sheet mulching so far. Give me a minute, I'll show you the top swell.